Check it. Bob Marley lives in Amsterdam. I seen him while riding on the number 4 tram. In the window, still puffin' endo. In the middle where men go. For lustin', you could trust him in the window. You'll be sedated, invaded by the inhaler. The choice of a man with a prophetic voice. Some hear it and heed, the greedy fear it indeed. But most just smoke the tree and never plant the seed of understanding and compassion. Mr. Marley was asking to curtail harassment of cats with black skin of African origin, extended to more men. Wherever there's oppression of a people's, it's for them. But impressions printed on flags and posters deflect the vital message that the wise one spoke of. Over 1 cup of coffee, he taught us about war and one love. The roster man's chance settled the score. And when the scourge of injustice gets next to us, he called on the trumpets to announce.
Hey, I'm talking about maroon love.
Yeah, that maroon love.
That maroon love that all of us carry right inside all of us. Hey. And I see our maroon ancestors running through them swamps, running through them hills, scaling them mountains, looking for freedom, and love, and love. And we bring out that maroon blood that is inside of all of us. That Black Panther love. All power that steers us to where we want to be, to where we need to be, to where we must be. Hey, I feel it, y'all. Love, I feel it. Love, I feel it. Love, I feel it. Freedom is not given. Tell them about it. It's got to be taken by any means necessary.
Yeah, that's what Malcolm said. Any means necessary.
And as our sister Asada says, it is our duty to fight for our freedom. Tell them, Asada. And as Brother Pete O'Neal says, to be a revolutionary, you must have love for the people. Yes. Love. It's all about love and building unity and trust. Trust. Don't you feel unity in our community? In our community. With a global perspective. Global. Yes. Our children must understand that they belong to the planet. We belong. We to belong. The planet, y'all. It's ours. It's ours. We live wherever we want to be on this planet. And as Africans, we must ride that wave of our history. Our story is of our own making. Our own making, y'all. You hear that? Don't you hear me? It's all about love and unity. That's where we should wanna be, y'all. And it's our duty. It's our honor to build strong love, y'all. Unity, love, some of that maroon love. Teach the children. Yes, all power to the people. Cool.
Mama C, bring us in.
Okay, here I go. What a blessing to pour libations today in honor of our ancestors, in honor of our freedom fighters, in honor of the Maroons. And may we all continue to be blessed with the Eshu that we are covered with. And may we all continue to walk in steps of freedom, love, and blessings. Omi Tutu, Ona Tutu, Ile Tutu, Tutu Igun, Tutu Haroye. And may all of the nature spirits surrounding us continue to protect, elevate, and give us permission and the honor to spread love wherever we walk. I give thanks.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Very, very good. And I hope, it's my hope and my desire that all of us, each and every one of us, can maintain and keep that fire in the belly that keeps us going, that inspires us to stand up to the most powerful nation state that has ever existed and stand up and look at them eyeball to eyeball and don't blink. That's what we've done thus far, and that's what I intend to keep doing for as long as I'm breathing. So I'm ready. Let's get it going.
Beautiful. And know that I will always be by your side.
Right on, right on.
Yes, yes.
All right. Now check it out, y'all. I want to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, healers, artists, the world, into the People's Dinner Party today. Today, we have the real life Django Unchained people right here. One of the greatest love stories our planet has ever seen.
Yes, yes.
Mr. and Mrs. P. O'Neill is in the house in the dinner party, the People's Dinner Party today, blessing us today with their presence and their story. This podcast will be geared around their love and their connection, not only just for each other, but just as important for the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mama C, co-founder of the United Alliance Community Center, founded in 1991. We are all she co-founded with her husband, who is also, we are blessed to have with us here at the People's Dinner Party. She's a mother, a healer, an artist, an activist, an agent of change. She's published 2 works, Warrior Woman of Peace in 28 and Life Slices, A Taste of Magic in 2016. She joined the Black Panther Party in Kansas City in 1969. Also, she was a part of the Kansas School of Human Dignity as well. Mr. Pete O'Neill, or Pete, former chairman of the Kansas City chapter of the Black Panther Party. Following the steps of his pops, he went into the Navy. At the time, a lot of the leadership was under duress of the party by local police department and FBI. At that time, Mama C and Pete left the United States and went to Algiers to join the group known as the International Section under Eldridge and Kathleen Cleaver, and later
to Tanzania and set up a beautiful community center there. And with that, look, years ago, both these folks helped me out in a time of need. I am so blessed. You talking about almost maybe 30 years ago. I reached out to Pete to help Lawrence Taylor, a former Panther out of New York. And he was so gracious and gave me all his telephone numbers, including the telephone number to his Jeep. And I never forget acts of kindness. And I researched his name and you guys' story. It touched my heart so. And to see y'all come alive at the Panther reunion UDC in my home town, Washington, D.C., to see y'all come alive in that PBS special, Panther in Africa, I was floored. I must say this. I want to say this. If I never do another interview in my life, this would be the greatest interview I ever done. This is how much these folks right here mean to me. This is how much Mama C and Pete mean to me. You know, the ability to leave this country and take that love with them and go back home and reestablish the love for our people, with our people in Tanzania. And with that, Mama C and Pete, I'm gonna kick back and tell the world your story, your love story, and your love for us as well. Welcome to the People's Dinner Party.
Thank you very, very much. And we're honored to have been able to continue the work of the Black Panther Party. A lot of people have a misunderstanding about the Black Panther Party, due in large part to misinformation spread by the media and COINTELPRO. They want to talk about guns and violence and yes, that was part of it, because we are not principally nonviolent. We believe strongly in defending ourselves, and violence will occur. But that is not the basis of the Black Panther Party. The basic aspect of the Black Panther Party is to serve the community. That and nothing more. We've done that for all the years that we've in Kansas City, in Algeria, and most certainly here in Tanzania. We try to make an uplifting contribution to the neighborhoods, to the environments in which we live. We have here in Tanzania, we have a community center that serves the youth. We have a children's home that serves children. Now you can talk about underprivileged people. You can talk about poverty, but if you haven't witnessed some of the lack of that exists on this continent, you haven't observed it at all. It's a grinding poverty. And
yes, sir.
we have tried to make a dent. And as a matter of fact, we have. We have
Yes,
taken children, we have taken them through school, from primary school. What is primary school? I love Patrick. What is primary school, Charlie?
That's what it is. Primary. You say that here too.
Okay. Through primary school and through, what in the world was that? Oh, TV came on. Lord, the whole thing's going crazy. Let me stop. Thank you. Bear with me. I'm still here.
Hey, that's right.
All right. We've got them through secondary school. Some of them now, on their own, with their own determination that we hope we instilled in them, have entered university. we are proud of what we've done. And we've done this with no money. We didn't make a nickel out of it. We've had to do everything by flying by the seat of our pants, but we get it done. We get it done
to the people.
with absolute determination, and I am so proud. And a lot of people say, how in the world can you all be married for 54 years and haven't killed each other? How can you possibly do? That's an impossibility. No, it's not. It depends upon the foundation that your relationship is built upon.
Right.
Our relationship is built upon what I just tried to describe to you, serving the people, something that's much bigger than Pete O'Neill, something that's much bigger than Charlotte Hill O'Neill. This is something that stops any kind of nonsense. She'll get mad at me, I'll get mad at her, mouth will get stuck out, we'll fuss for a little bit, and then you stop and think, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. This is not what we are about.
Right
This
on.
is not about Pete. This is not about Charlotte. This is about working for the people. And so we do it, and we do it with a will. And I'm so proud, and I'm honored that there are people like yourself, comrade, who take the time to say, I want to let the world know about this.
You best believe it.
Something good is in the works, and something good is happening, and something that we all should be very proud of.
Right.
And I'm very proud. And I think that young lady, I got a young wife, man. I don't know how I did it, but I got me a young wife.
Sound like a relationship book in the making.
How
to keep it together.
That's all it's got to be done.
Yeah.
Put down paper and it will be there.
Right on.
That's right. People always ask me also and say about, how we've been able to, be together for 54 years and counting, and I say everything that you said, the community service aspect of it, that is in our blood, that's in the marrow of our bones, and that we learn as members of the Black Panther Party and have carried that on. But it's also an element of trust,
right on.
Element of honoring each other.
Right
on. I think those are some big elements that make our relationship what it is today. And also knowing that we're an example. We're an example to our community. We're an example to the youth. We're an example to the world, because you don't see many people, especially these days, staying together, not just striving, but thriving for more than 5 decades, know, and still friends. Hey, that's really, really something. Still in love and still building dreams and manifesting these dreams. And MJ, I tell you this all the time, I'm so honored to be your wife. I think that I know that this was something that was meant to be, because a whole bunch of people wouldn't have left together, especially at my tender age of, I was 19, right?
You were 18 when you had just turned 18. She was legal. She had just turned.
when we met, but I was 19 when we left.
Yeah, you were 19. You're absolutely right.
Yes. Now, how many people would have done that? But I remember you asked me, I don't know if we was getting ready to get on the plane or getting ready to get in the trunk of that car or whatever it was, but you said, you sure you want to do this, Sister Charlotte?
Sure did.
And I said, Brother Chairman, I used to always call you Brother Chairman or Brother Pete. And now I call you MZ Pete. That's why when young folk like our brother Suncere say just Pete, it makes me feel funny because he's our elder. He's my elder. He's my husband, but I still put something in front of his name. But you got permission, brother, so don't worry about it.
And I feel very honored to be able to call him Pete. That's why I had to think about it, be like, okay, he said it's fine to call him Pete, because I'll be wanting Mr. Pete and Baba Pete. That's the first thing to come to mind. But I'm definitely honored. Thank you so much.
And so I said, of course, you ain't gonna leave without me, huh? We've been on this adventure together ever since, and it has been sometimes a wild ride, huh?
Right.
But it's always been good, and I've learned so much from you, MJ, and you just continue to inspire me. You my greatest inspiration, you know? Wow.
Oh,
It can't get better than that.
You learned me, sister, how to love. You did, and you know I don't show emotion easily, and you showed me how to show that, how to express that, and so I benefited a great deal from my relationship with you. But I wanted to add a little something to the story you were telling, because you didn't tell it the way I would have told it. It was the white left in New York City that got us out of the United States. I mean, they wanted me so bad. Clarence Kelly was the chief of police, my nemesis.
right.
He became the director of the FBI when J. Edgar Hoover died. Hated the ground walked on. He did, and so it was the white left that organized everything, got us to New York City, put us in a safe house, got the tickets and got everything.
Wow.
And this little white dude he was a lawyer, wasn't he, Charlotte? Just scared to death. Was driving us to the airport, hands shaking and everything, and they were listening to the radio, and a little tinny voice kid was singing, "I'll be there." That was 12 years old. And so sure, I said, we need to remember that song. That'll be our song. I said, because you never know. We may be gone for up to 2 years. It was 20 years before Charlotte went back to the States. There goes the electricity's off. Are you all there?
Oh, man. Yeah.
We're still here.
We still hear you.
Well, let's. Can you hear me? The lights just went off. I don't know. Forgive my shouting. Omari!
And I'd like to add to that, as MJ is getting Omari, who's one of the leaders of Tomorrow Children, and who joined that program that Brother Pete started when he must have been about 5 or 6 years old, I think.
Wow.
He was 4?
He's our in-house technician, electrician. He deals with everything here. Anyway, but as we were saying, I remember, and I want to finish this because we were getting on the plane. We're getting on a SAS to go to Sweden. And I said, Charlotte, you don't have to do this now. I said, nobody, you can go back to the state. She said, Brother Chairman, and this is an expression that was used then. She said, I'm down for doubles. That means I'm in it with all 4 feet. I'm in it absolutely. I'm in it till we win, you know. And she has been there, and the electricity just came back on. Now I have no idea. I don't know.
Down like 4 flat tires.
Yeah, this is running on batteries or something. But anyway, this has been an absolute blessing. We have grown. I grew up in Tanzania. Now, I had just turned 30 just a couple of months before, turned 30. Just the 27th of July, I turned 83 years old. And
Yeah.
I have been so blessed.
Wow.
I remember when the turn when 1970 was coming in. Charlotte and I were standing at the window, and we were hell raisers. We really were. That was just, I could put it in a nicer way, but we were hell raisers. And I said, sister, I said, you know, we're not going to live to see another new year. She said, I know it.
Wow.
She said, let it come on, bring it. I said,
Right.
well, let's go. 83 years old. Now you tell me I'm not blessed. You tell me fate has not placed its hand on my head and said, let it be. Yes, something good has happened. And so what an honor it is. So I'm here with this lady. We're doing good work. We're doing good work together. We serve everything. We have provided ambulance service in the community. We have taught classes. We've taught computers. We've taught so many things, and it has never cost anyone a cent. And we don't have any money other than what good people that support us, that believe in us, the little bit of donation that they do, and always, always something that will happen to keep us going. There have been, am I talking too much, Charlotte?
No,
No,
sir.
keep on.
Please.
Please.
Many, many, many times when I tell Charlotte, I said, well, Charlotte, I don't know what we're going to do. I said, we at the end of the road now. Charlotte told me, Charlotte is, I say this with love now. Now I'm saying this with a lot of love. Charlotte is very metaphysical, far more than me, but I respect that, as I have the highest respect for that. And she told me, she said, let me tell you something, brother. As long as we're trying to do the right thing, the universe will make a way.
Right on.
I looked at her, I said, what universe? I said, that's the damnedest Oprah Winfreyism I ever heard in my life. But you want to know something? I cannot explain this. I have no scientific, empirical reasoning that to explain this. But she's right. There have been 1,000,001 times when our backs have been against the wall. And I said, I don't know what we're going to do. Something will happen. Something will come to the fore that allows us to keep going. Charlotte, is it because we're trying to do the right thing?
Say what?
Charlotte, I said, you got to wake up now. I
No,
said,
I won't. You know my hearing ain't good. This
No.
young lady's hearing is about gone.
If somebody got a second-hand hearing aid, send them to me. I'll give them to her. But
You got that. You got that coming.
Yeah, and what you were saying is absolutely true, MC. And when I always like to let people know, you know how the media talks about we fled, they flee, and all that. No. It was an escape. And an escape is a systematic, well thought out plan of what you're gonna do. And I like the fact that you mentioned that it was the white left. You know, to me, it's like a modern day underground railroad that helped us to escape. It really, if you look at all aspects of what the Underground Railroad was about, you know, those people who helped us and have continued to help us, of course, is people in the African American community and the African community, people from all over the world who continue to support our efforts. But that was a modern day Underground Railroad. And not only that, I look at us and I know that we are modern day Maroons.
Right on.
I just gave a talk on what Maroons is, and there's a list of different things that define what a maroon is. And MJP, when you look at a picture, when you look at the word maroon, you're going to see our pictures there. Because that's what we continue to be. We escape with our principles, with our love, with the service in our heart, and went up into the foothills of Mount Meru.
All power to the people.
That gives me chills. You know, and establish a United African Alliance Community Center that's been going on all these years and is so loved and respected. If you ask any young people, if you ask elders in our community and beyond about us and how we continue to inspire the young people, you know, that's an honor. And that's what keeps us on track. You know?
It is that. Absolutely true. And I'm going to tell you something. Please don't think, if you remember the evils that existed back in the day, if you remember COINTELPRO, somehow people say, yeah, I've talked to someone that says, yeah, isn't that horrible? But that was a long time ago. Oh, no. Please believe me when I tell you, COINTELPRO is alive. It does evil, dirty tricks that they've done. There are comrades of mine that are in jail. Ed Poindexter is one. Been in jail out of Omaha, Nebraska for as long as I've been in exile. 50 years. Right. And he's in horrible health. And these are some of the things. This is what revolution is about. You've got to fight the wrongs that exist. You have to be the monkey wrench in the cogs of the elitist machinery. You've got to fight. Got to take a position against it, and that's what we're doing. And I feel very good about it. But believe me on this one thing. I'm going to leave. I want you all to remember this. Believe me when I tell you, I know COINTELPRO still exists. The dirty trick still exists.
If I may,
yes, sir.
If I may, Pete. Now I may have been like that years ago, but I got hit with a counterintelligence program when I had the Cafe Marwanage in DC. It was a community cafe, and they scared my partner, who was like 22 years old, a graduate from Howard University. They turned her against me. I didn't find out that we were under this observation until I left until I was kind of forced to leave the cafe. And I started reading articles on the internet when I was in Atlanta, because I left under Marshall Eddie Conway's advisement. I had left and went to Atlanta, and I went to one of the libraries downtown Atlanta and jumped online. And I read, and I was trying to keep up what was going on with the cafe because it was my baby. You know, that's where the Marshall Eddie Conway Children's Free Breakfast Program was founded, in that cafe, in Cafe Marwanage in Washington, D.C. So I clicked on to a story, to a website that was called Inside DC. And it explained, it was written by the son of one of the state troopers that was guarding Assata Shakur's hospital door when they first brought her in off the interstate. And he was ragging the cafe to pieces. And that's when I knew that we were being watched, you know, that they had turned my partner against me. They had formed a task force just to harass me. When I would come outside the cafe and go for a walk, the task force would pull up on me intimidatingly, and I would take a step. I would light a Newport and take a step back to them, I was lighting a cigarette. To me, I was getting in my fighting stance because I knew all I had was one shot, and they want to beat the hell out of me because me and my boy years before got jumped by 20-something police in the 4th District Police Station. We was fighting for our lives, so I knew I was gonna get my butt tore up, but I had to get mine in quick. But anyway, they would say things to me like, "It'll be a shame if we find heroin in the comforts of your couches in your cafe." Another time, they beat a junkie, a black female, right in front of me, trying to provoke me to do something, and it broke my heart, you know, because I was the spearhead of that cafe. It's something that happened to me, you know, but I wanted to act on it, but I couldn't, you know, and they would do things like that. They would send police openly into the cafe, and they sent some young Puerto Rican police in there, and I trapped them with my cooking. They used to come back just to get fried plantains, and they started cooperating with me. The next thing I know, they no longer used to come through. It was almost as if they told them, "Nah, y'all getting too comfortable with them. We sent you over there to observe and harass them, not to eat and have a good time." You know?
Have a good time with them, yeah.
Right on. And come to find, the DCPD was observing us. Because I had prayed with some black Muslims on the lawn of the State Department after 9/11, the State Department was involved. And here I'm sitting and I'm doing all this revolutionary activity, and I'm upset, you know, out the cafe because we had political breakfast program, poetry, music, all this type of thing. And I'm like, why they harassing me? And then I forget that the FBI building is only 10 blocks from the cafe, you know. So we would, and so I know firsthand that they are active, and I didn't have any family in Atlanta, so I had to go to a shelter, one of the craziest shelters in Atlanta. And like 2 weeks later, this older gentleman popped up, and he was like, "Yeah, I saw those books that you got on your bed there. Yeah, I read those books." And he cut into me, and I'm always paranoid. Freeman and Shuja Graham used to sit me down, and they used to talk to me for hours about their experiences back in the 70s and 80s. So they kind of had me, you know, with that mindset to observe and know that I could be possibly under observation and everything. And he disappeared 2 weeks later, but I always felt like he was sent in there out of all those people. You know, he supposed to be this political guy in the community, and when I checked him out, nothing read. And but yeah, I wanted to tell that story and let people know here on the People's Dinner Party that it's out here. You know, but I want to turn this back over to you because it's not the Sunny show. I'm fanning out right now.
No,
y'all,
no,
look, I'm doing everything I can to contain myself, but I'm fanning out right now. So look, I'm gonna turn it back over to y'all here.
Don't contain yourself. This is the truth show. This is what it's about. You're talking truth, brother. And you're talking truth that people need to be aware of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Charlie?
Yes.
So how you holding?
I'm holding good. You know, many people know about our history as Black Panther veterans. Many people know that we went to Algeria and there were other exiles there. And I mean, it's no secret that, you know, Brother Shakur was there and a whole bunch of other exiles and Brother who was the brother who had the real low voice? I'm saying went to Zambia. And he wrote capitalism plus drugs equal genocide. I can't believe I can't recall his name, but wait, it's coming.
Capitalism plus dope equals genocide.
Yes, and his name was, he had a name, huh?
Michael Tabor,
Yes.
but his name settled well. And he lived in Zambia for the longest in exile. When we left Algeria, he left a week before me.
Yeah.
And we left in increments,
Yeah, so many people know that story. A lot of that's been documented. But what many people don't know is that when we came to Tanzania and were welcomed as political exiles and freedom fighters, and we became homesteaders. Now, there's not many people in exile who learned to work the land or even desired to work the land. There's one that comes to mind with Brother DC, who was also in Don Cox, who was also in Algeria. And when everybody left, he went to France and became a farmer farming what is those flowers that like calm people down and everything, and they
lavender.
He became a lavender farmer. But people don't understand, brother. Wow. We were urban youth. Well, we wasn't youth. Well, I wasn't still a youth, and him say certainly wasn't a youth, and we knew nothing about farming. Right. We learned how to be farmers. We learned how to grow our own food. We wasn't calling it organic because that name hadn't come to the fore yet, but it was all organic. We had cows. We had thousands of chickens. We had rabbits. We had pigs, which is probably why I'm a vegetarian now, but hey, we don't have to go into that. But pigs get a bad rep. Pigs are smarter than dogs. I ain't talking about the two-legged kind. I'm
I heard.
Four-legged kind, huh? And if you keep their environment clean, they're not smelly at all. We learn how to use our hands. I used to be so proud of the calluses in my hands. Brother Pete learned how to build a windmill. Now, how many people who grew up in Kansas City have built a windmill? Huh?
Wow.
Wow. Yes, so he has always been very innovative, very inventive. And that is one of the things that the elders in the community in Mbasani Village, which is where we live now, which is where United African Alliance Community Center is, that's why they gave us a plot of land. And that's where we first built our first community center. It was African American Community Center, because you know how Africans from the diaspora who were born in America are referred to as African Americans. Later on, we changed that name to African Alliance because we felt that demonstrated more our philosophy. Right. But brother, we worked the land for years. Wow. You ever milked a cow?
I never milked a cow, but I seen pictures of what y'all started off with, that little rusty tin shack or whatever the case may be, and all that land. Man, that was a hell of a adjustment to make. That was a hell of an adjustment to make, and wow, I know that took a lot of hard work and dedication to put that together. That's why, I'm not amazed by for nothing, by y'all story, and I've seen y'all humble beginnings, and how Pete had to adjust as well. I was watching the documentary, and the brother was on there talking about how Pete chased the guy in the market with a knife or something like that. He's like, "Yo, we don't do that here in Texas."
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, he from Kansas. He from the Midwest. That's how,
Kansas
you
City.
know, how you get down, baby.
Woo.
Now, just for the record, let me tell this story. We were parked. It was night. We were in Arusha town, and I'm driving, and we were parked in front of a church building, I think across the street from the post office. And Charlotte was heavily pregnant with our daughter. She opened the door to get heavily pregnant.
Right.
And this dude, now, when I tell the story, he looked like George Foreman or Mike Tyson. I may be exaggerating.
Of course.
But he came in on a motorcycle and came so close to her door, she had to fall back in the car to keep from getting hit. I said, politely, what the hell is wrong with you? And the dude looked at me, he said, well, what you gonna do about it? And he should not, you don't do that to people from 12th Street in Kansas City. Those are words you don't know. I had a machete in there. I took that machete and jumped over the hood of the car. Yes. This dude ran into the church building screaming. And I had to go hide out for a while. And surprisingly, this is the truth. His father was a church. I've always been interested in electronics and stuff like that. His father was a teacher of electronics. And somehow they met me and I met them. We became friends. The father taught me a great deal about electronics that I didn't know. So you can use anything as as a foundation on which to build. So we did do that. So
life is mysterious like that.
It is. And please, I want people to know, I am 83 years old now. I can resolve anything with a smile. I can resolve, and I do it. I don't argue or fight with nobody. I don't have to, because I'm smart enough to know how to resolve things peacefully.
That's right.
So I just wanted to get that in there now.
Yeah. Thank you for that refreshing of that history.
Y'all cut off on me. They cut off.
Are you good?
You're back. Yeah.
Okay.
You're good? Okay.
Awesome. Cool beans.
It's something.
Yeah, cool beans. Huh?
It's something going on with the electricity, and they said it was everything going off. Everything. Just here, Mama.
Well,
Mama,
we're still here, huh? And we're going to continue. Okay, we'll keep talking. Going. So we were talking about the homesteading and how when we first started clearing the land, because we were so close to one of the game reserves, there would be hyenas who would get all in there. There would be Cape buffalo who are huge, who would be running up and down the road and all of that, you know. So that just shows you the conditions that we had when we first moved there. Not only did we not have electricity, and that's why Brother Pete had to go to an appropriate technology class to learn how to build a windmill, we also didn't have running water. And the people, not only us, but the people in our community, in our village there. And it was the girls' task to carry buckets of water, like 20-liter buckets of water. So when our comrade, Brother Geronimo Gijaga, was finally released from prison, Johnny Cochran was his lawyer, and he was like awarded like a compensation for having been locked up for 27 years for something he did. And so he went to Ghana first, then he came to Tanzania. And when he came to Tanzania to our center, he asked us what was our greatest need.
Right.
And our greatest need at the time was water, not only for us, but for the whole community there. And he gave us like $10,000 to drill. I remember there was an Australian drill crew that came out of Serengeti and came to us, and we had to take down some of our fence. And it took them maybe 4 days, I think, to drill until they reached an underground stream.
Water passage.
Yes, yes. And when that happened, and that water just went up like that, you and everybody's cheering and hollering, you would think that it was like, what they call
oil.
Oil. And the first thing that we did was put faucets out there for our community.
Yeah.
And that is still being in use to this day. And I got to give thanks to Betty Shabazz International Charter School out of Chicago, who raised funds for us to have an immersible pump.
Okay.
We had Dave. Can you hear me, Charlotte?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got it. Yes, yes, sir.
They raised funds for us to get a high pressure submersible pump and to build a gigantic water tank that holds thousands and thousands of gallons of water. So when there's no water in the village, you can always get. People used to have to walk 5 miles to get a bucket of water. They
Not
know
no
if
more.
you go down to AC, oh no, and no. So this is because of the generosity of people that have helped us accomplish some of the things that we've accomplished. So I'm very proud.
I got a story about how I met Geronimo. How I met. He gave me permission to call him G. You know how I met G. I had there was a free the political prisoner rally in front of the White House. And I met so many people there. I was standing like right up the street, and G just got out, and he was with his wife and everything at the time. And I never forget this. It was like a rite of passage. And it was this ginormous Marcus Garvey flag. Like, it was huge. And G was trying to hold it. And I walked up and we held it together. And we walked that flag all the way around the White House until we got to the back. And then when we got to the back, he just handed the flag off to me. And I always felt like, you know, he was passing the torch to me in my own little mind. And that's the first time I ever met him. When we were doing the march, I had stepped on the back of his heel, and I was like, man, I melted down to about this big. I was like, me and my big feet, I done stepped on this revolutionary foot. And he was cool about it. And then years later, I met him again at Malink's house down in New Orleans during the Katrina aftermath. And we was in recovery mode when I actually met him. And it was amazing to meet this brother, how calm, how cool he was. And I would run volunteers down to Morgan City, where he's from, to help do repairs on his mom's house down there. And it was amazing. I used to see him a lot, and it's just amazing that 1 minute you're reading about, you know, folks, and then years later, you know, they're calling you by name, you know, and it was just so amazing. He was a wonderful brother. It crushed me to find out, you know, when he passed. You know, sometimes I feel like, you know, black people can't have nothing. We can't have we can't have Tupac, we can't have Biggie, but the damn Rolling Stones, like 90 years
Be
old,
here,
they still
be here
going
forever.
strong.
Yes, they will.
So
You
you
know, but
back him, say, because it had a sign on here that said your visual was frozen because your network was low.
Well, the network was not only low. They said Omari's sitting in here now, so I'm holding him hostage so he can deal with something if something he's dealing with. He said it's going off everywhere, even old Mama Jeremiah and everybody. So this is a problem not just for us, but it's everybody. So something's happening with the electricity. I don't know. We can turn the generator.
You on the
Get real.
generator?
No, I
Okay.
said
Hey, Omari. How you doing?
how you doing, brother? Man,
Doing
it's
great.
amazing. I'm good to hear your voice. Good to hear your voice. Look, a question that I had when I was watching the PBS documentary on y'all, the attitude, the vibe of the people in Tanzania where y'all live, it seemed like so beautiful and so laid back. You know, not like intense like how the city is here. You know, so what is it like to live, you know, amongst the folks in Tanzania there where you live at? What's it like? How are they?
Well, please let me try to describe this.
Okay.
When Charlotte first went back to the United States in 1990, after being out here 20 years, 1990, she came back. She said, Mzee, she said, it's wild over there. She said, when I was in the airport, she said, have you ever seen cartoons where everybody just runs around in circles and it's just jumping, going back and forth? That's what everybody's moving at hyper speed and talking and moving fast, and things are laid back here. People will stop you in the morning, and I still have to deal with this because I still have a little bit of that Americanism in me, that fast, fast, fast. People will stop. Well, and say, Peter, how are you? I said, I'm fine. I'm doing good. And what about Mama C? Mama Shaw? I said, oh, she's fine. Your kids are in the States. I said, well, some of them are. One of them's here now. Oh, really? Are they doing okay? This is the way people are. And they don't say do this just to be nice. They do it with sincerity.
Right.
They want to know how you are. I've been under the weather, and I just told Charlotte. My neighbor came, and my not my biological daughters, but my adopted daughters came and said, "Neighbors here to see you. They want to see you, and they want to say." I said, "Oh God, I don't feel like that." I said, "Tell them to come on in." They came in. They came in. And they sat here for an hour.
Right.
How are you? How are you doing? I said, well, I've been a little sick, but I'm okay now. But you shouldn't be in this room by yourself. I said, well, I'm not. I said, people come in and out and everything. But what about at nighttime? I said, well, I can make it during the night. But people are concerned. And it's an
How you
absolute,
doing?
when you're sick, when you're under the weather, it is an
I'm here.
Yeah, but the only thing, I'm on a Zoom, I'm on a podcast right now. Yes, you can. Okay, I will. Peace and blessings, sister.
No worries, we can edit it out.
blessing. So anyway, this is
Yeah,
the way is laid back was the perfect phrase to use
right.
because people are laid back. They are just as laid back as they possibly can. Charlotte has been, I've spent a great deal of time in bed,
Right.
and Charlotte has been uh, renovating my room, and she's got people doing this and they're doing that, and that everybody's so pleasant. And they come in, how are you, MZ? And I mean, it's, you can say, how are you? And
Right.
it has that fakeness to it. There has no sincerity.
Right.
This meant this is from the heart. This is the way people are.
Right.
People are very polite. They're
Right.
very kind.
Right.
They do have crazy people like they do everywhere in the world, but it is rare,
Right.
very rare to run into them.
Right.
And
My
people
my
are
way of
respectful. We work with a lot of the youth, and
right.
I work with a lot of the hip hop community, right?
Right
And
on.
I love hip hop here because it's full of respect. It's
Right.
full of youth who are who see the importance of elevating the community through their
Right.
words and through their actions. You
Right.
know, I know there's pockets of conscious hip hop here in the States, but you don't hear it on the radio really.
You got to
It's
seek it out.
because of the corporations. And
Yeah.
we were talking about Brother Geronimo. Well, his nephew is out of Chicago, and he has a program where they're trying to uh, stop the corporations from pushing all this violence and terrible things they
Thank
say
you.
about women
Thank
and
you.
all that. But I'm
Thank
saying
you.
this to say
Thank
that
you.
the young people here have a lot of respect for elders. That's something that, of course, when I come to the States or anywhere in the world, I'm honored with a lot of respect. But a whole bunch of young people, aren't like that. They're not. It's like they've forgotten that,
Right.
So when MJ says that everybody is laid back here, that is so very true. Everyone is helpful. You can have a car breakdown in the middle of somewhere and people don't even know you, but they will come to your aid to help push that car or to get
Right.
under that hood or
Right.
whatever. But you receive that kind of respect when you give that kind of respect, and when
Right.
you a whole bunch of afros is what we call our tribe, or considering coming here, and many people here, I mean Tanzania, and many people have. But always tell them you got to be prepared to put something on the table. It don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be financial, but it needs to be something, some knowledge that you can
Right.
share or something. And don't stay in these little cliques. You know
Right.
what I mean? Where
Right.
you just in the community that is a diaspora community. If you're going to be accepted, for lack
Right.
of a better word, into a community, you got to embrace the community and be a part of
No
that.
doubt. No
Yes,
doubt.
yes, you do.
No doubt.
How much time do we have left, brother? I see it's 11:43 by my,
Chris,
huh?
how much time we got?
Oh, as much time as you all need. This is a beautiful
Okay.
conversation. So yeah.
Right on. If I can have permission to speak, Elder.
Yes, you have permission.
Thank
MZ,
you.
you still there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. I want to loop back to like attitude. I always said, that the best way to express the African in me is how I treat people. The elders taught me, Shuja and Elder Freeman taught me that sometimes you got to be mother, brother, father, sister, psychiatrist, to the people. And that's my approach. I have a lot of different survival, not a lot, but I got survival programs here. And also we're reporting. This podcast is reporting out of one of the most dangerous projects in Cleveland, the Wilson Towers. I'm up at the Wilson Towers, And the thing that the most heartbreaking thing, I've been here about a decade. The most heartbreaking thing about living in the project and being political is you identify that the music does two things to these projects all across the United States. One, it's a breeding plantation. This music is transforming these projects into breeding plantations. One.
Yes.
Two, they're also creating bodies for all the future prisons as well.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to walk outside and kick bullets that were fired by a Draco maybe like 4:30 in the morning. It's rough here. We had a young lady pass away from a fentanyl overdose. She was just 30 years old. You know, and the people that was with her just left her out in the hallway. You know, and knocked on the door and ran. You know, it's a lot to deal with. But I'm the only one like myself here. So I don't get in people's business. I don't really get involved because I gotta stay in the middle of the road if I'm going to be continue to be a leader here. And the funny thing is, it's such a void of men in the community that even the older people kind of see me as a father figure, which is mad weird to me.
Wow.
Really weird to me. But it was explained to me that you've been the most consistent thing in these people probably in their life. And I don't and I say and I say I a lot, but as you know, when I was talking to you a couple of days ago, Saturday, I can barely there's some days I can barely punch my way out of a wet paper bag, sister and brother. So I know it's a force much greater than myself that's guiding me because I mean it's my show, so I guess I can say this. I'm a damn fool sometimes. you know. So I know the resources that come to me for the community here is coming through something much greater than me. I'm just the conductor. You know, I have the desire. The majority of my building people are going through trauma, mental health issues, serious drug and alcohol addiction. But I don't stand above them. Old socialist saying that I picked up when I was with the International Socialist Organization. I don't wish to rise above the rank and file. I want to rise with the rank and file. I want to rise with my people.
Elevate.
And it's hard on me. It's very hard on me, very difficult. But I take the work with a great deal of honor because they're like, the universe put me here for a reason.
Yes.
And I see it. And And I'm like, you know, I wasn't really anybody. But it took me, cleaned me up, and put me in position to be productive, you know, to this world. And all I really want to do in life, you can't bribe me with no sex. You can't bribe me with no money. You can't bribe me with no violence because I grew up in DC. You know, DC don't really raise no suckers. And I know y'all know something about that being out of Kansas City, you know. And I'm just honored that it put me in this position, you know. And I just want, all I want to do, sir?
If I may, forgive my rudeness.
No, sir. No, sir.
You just described my life to a T.
Yes.
The struggle gave my life significance and meaning. It cleaned me up. It made me a whole, caring, conscious human being. It made me understand that not a damn thing revolves around me. Nothing revolves around me. And my only significance lies in what help, what assistance I'm able to give to my people. And that's just true. And that's what gives me joy. That's what, no matter how difficult things, and things do get difficult, no matter how difficult they do get, when I wake up in the morning, when I go to the restroom and I see my reflection in the mirror, I don't cringe. And there was a time when I would look at myself, damn, you're a low life, no good. I can look at myself now and smile. And
Right
Yeah,
on.
that's what
Right
the
on.
struggle me. That's what
Right on.
you all, people like you all, have given me. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. It was in 1968, the best thing that ever happened to me. I would have said, boy, these are the biggest squares I've ever seen in my life. But it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And I give thanks for it. I
that is
do.
so beautiful.
Apologize for interrupting,
No,
brother.
Oh,
permission to speak,
no.
elders.
Yes.
All right. All I want to do is complete my spiritual contract. That's the most important thing to me in the world. And I'm honored, I'm honored to serve the community and everything. And the depression and everything that I picked up, the post-traumatic stress disorder, because I helped Malik found common ground in New Orleans and Algiers on the West Bank, and I spent about like 18 months, helping people get, our people get back into their homes and everything.
Mm.
And when I left, I had like, chronic PTSD and all this type of thing, but the only thing that give me some solace, some joy, is working for the people. And I run out of money, and then all of a sudden, money just comes from somewhere. I could be sitting outside with $1.19 in my bank account, and I look down on my phone. Somebody done shot me $500 on my Cash App. It ain't me.
Very. It
It
ain't
ain't
you.
me.
It
It may
ain't
look
you.
like me, but it ain't me. It's something far much greater. And I take a great deal of pride in the service, especially my kids. I love feeding my kids. I got about like 30 of them here. I ain't got as many in you in Mama C, but I got about 30 young ones here, and I've been here like a decade. So I got a chance to plant the seed, because not everybody get an opportunity to plant the seed and watch the seed grow.
That's right.
And watch.
And it's been some good and it's been some bad, but I'm terribly honored. But also too, I just wanted to touch on, since we got Mama C here, about African spirituality, which is very, very important to me. I got my little altar here, and I've been doing research about African spirituality. And you should see the look on, and I don't knock Christians or anything like that, but you should see the look on like sisters' faces when we have like religious discussions. It was like, well, what God do you serve? And I was like, the black woman is God.
Mm.
And the look on their face when I tell them that, you know, um, everything that I do, it's given to me by the divine feminine, because it's my intent to heal people, even though I'm wounded and I need healing. You know, I need a hug every now and then. You know, so I give honor to that. And with that said, Mama C, can you
Yeah,
tell us more about African spirituality?
yes, yes. And I always tell people, and they might not know this, but he says that he's not a spiritual person or a religious person, but he really is. He
Right.
really is. He practices African spirituality in a practical way. You know what I mean?
Right.
In service. And like when I was pouring libations here, which I'm always honored to do that, you know, I'm pouring that for everybody. I don't care if you are practicing Yoruba, Candomblé, or leukemia, or Buddhism, or whatever, because we all should honor the Black woman, because that's where we come from. The universe is a symbol of the womb of a Black woman, but many people have forgotten that. I like to share this story sometime about how I don't remember his name, but he was a white Catholic priest out of Chicago. I'm sure you knew him too, but he wanted me to make a installation for this new cathedral that they had built in Maasai land, right?
Right.
So, one of my mediums is paper mache. I made this beautiful paper mache of Mary holding the baby Jesus, and baby Jesus holding the world, and the woman. Because this is in Maasai land, it's in Africa, I made her an African woman, right?
Right.
Well, they installed that during some big ceremony, and some of the people in the Maasai community, there complained because they said, why did I make her an African woman? All they'd seen was the white Madonna. So this priest out of Chicago, he gathered all these pictures and postcards of the Black Madonnas who are
proud of the Black Madonna,
including in Russia and all these European cathedrals everywhere. And he taught them that. And I presume they were acceptance of it. One day I'm gonna go out there, but I'm just showing that as an illustration that even in Africa, people need to be reminded of the importance of our spirituality, of the importance of honoring our ancestors. I've been initiated as a Egungun priest, so I've always, Egungun, for y'all who don't know, means ancestors. I'm an ancestor priest. So, my ancestors talk to me. I carry my ancestors in my blood. I'm wrapped in the ashe of my ancestors, and I always, every chance I get, I praise our ancestors. Matter of fact, we had a family gathering yesterday, and we did that. We always do, and I teach the children the importance of that, because when you honor that African spirituality, when you honor any kind of spirituality that you're drawn to, it gives you strength. It elevates you, And if you're elevated, like you were saying, my brother, the community, those you work with, are going to be elevated, So it's very, very important. And there's so many ways to honor that spirituality inside. MZP, if I can say, honors that African spirituality by his service, by raising all these children, by being an example of what it means to be a conscious elder, Even
I see it.
Before he was an elder. So there's all kind of ways to honor that African spirituality and to connect to that African spirituality. I'm a ritual woman, so that is in many ways the way I honor that, and I pass on those blessings to people. The thing that's uppermost in my psyche and in my actions is to always walk in Iwapwele. That means in peace and love and consciousness, and being an example. Got to be an example. Before we finish, or MZ, you ready to say something?
No, I'm listening and absorbing.
I have 2 poems that I got to read, because I got 2 poems. One is in honor of my husband of 54 years, and it's called wife pleasure.
All right now. All right
My
now.
pleasure at being a wife is immense. The joy of knowing that I can be myself with my mate of more than 5 decades, even when there is morning breath after a rough night, dusty paint sprayed feet after working in my art all day, and terrible snoring most nights. And to know that I am still loved and honored is a delirious pleasure to me. To know that it's okay to sit in silence or laugh hysterically with my man anytime, any day, makes me feel more blessed than one can ever know. To know that we both enjoy the same sunset and sunrise, yet accepting each other's vast differences as individuals that make up the whole that is our we, makes me feel so secure and loved. To know beyond all doubt that we remain in love even when we fuss and disagree, to still be able to look at my man and feel the heat rising in my luscious thoughts about him gives me great pleasure, even after all these years and years and years together. What a blessing our love is. That's for you, MC.
Go on now.
Amen.
Cooking with
All right
grease.
then.
Cooking with grease and firewood. Come on now.
Yes. And this is from my book, Homage. You said in the beginning I had 2 poetry books. I actually got 3.
Okay.
And this is
Wikipedia dropped one.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Yes. Life Slices, Warrior Woman of Peace, and Homage.
Yes. Right.
I'll have this on tour actually, because I'll be doing some book signings and everything. Yes.
Elder, permission to speak? If I
you
could.
have permission. Yes.
Thank you. We're definitely gonna add a link to how people can donate to the center.
Good.
And support many other endeavors, including your book. I was able to screenshot a lot of photos from the PBS documentary, which we're also gonna use.
Okay.
Because I want to create this right here. I want it to be an homage to y'all love. I wanted to be an homage to y'all love to the people. Black love, the black man and the black woman is the very essence of revolution.
Yes.
And it's the only way we're going to beat this thing. That respect for the divine masculine and also the divine feminine that keeps us in balance and moving forward and inspiring us. But Pete, I was watching, like I said, I was watching the PBS documentary, and this word came up that it was kind of funny, and it means we have an understanding.
Oh Lord, Lord help me.
So could you pronounce it and give us the definition of what it means, please?
Now I have to tread very, very carefully here, lest I give offense, and I certainly don't want to. I did not invent or create the Kiswahili language. As a matter of fact, my Kiswahili is horrifically lacking. But there is a word that I never, ever use. And people laugh. They laugh. They say, Mzee, Omar is sitting over here laughing now. The word means understanding.
Yes.
You and I can reach an understanding, regardless of what difficulties we may have, regardless of contradictions, there's room for an understanding.
Right.
And in Kiswahili, that is pronounced. Don't put your hand up to your head now, Charlie. The word is motherfucker.
There you go.
And Lord, forgive me, y'all. I meant no disrespect, but I won't use that word. I've done it. This time people ask me, I say, hell, I don't know. I just don't. But it is pronounced motherfucker. And that means understand.
You said it very elegantly.
Extremely
Did
so.
Yes, you did. Yes, yes.
Excellent. Look, that's why I passed on the responsibility to you.
It only seems somehow inappropriate when we put our thinking.
Yes.
No doubt.
Our thinking. Because the word is a Kiswahili word.
Right.
And so there now.
Right.
I can see I'm looking at the cameras. The kids are getting ready to come. They'll be here in a minute.
Right.
And when they do here, I'm gonna bid you all fairly well and let you all continue, if I may, if I have permission to do so.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
I'm running thing, so I was gonna bid farewell too, and I gotta be ready when Malcolm comes because we gotta go deal with some things. But this has been long. It's been a long podcast, and I've been very honored to have been a part of this. I didn't have my food, but I did have my tea for the dinner.
I got my water right here. I ain't have my food, but I got my water right here.
Yes, yes.
We are so appreciative to have Pete and Mama C here on the People's Dinner Party. And it was very important for me to have both of you here too. Not only just your contribution to humanity, but we're also losing a lot of our elders. And that's why this is cake and ice cream for me. This is Christmas, New Year's, everything. And thank you. And thank you so much, Pete, Comrade Pete. Thank you so much. Mama C, thank you for your gracefulness. Thank you for, keeping our brother in balance. Thank you for all the hard work you guys have put into it, all them calluses on your hands and probably a little bit on your soul too, a little bit, But thank you so much for joining the People's Dinner Party. Real life, real people. Producer, my main man, Chris. Thank you so much. I love you all. Also, just a little bit I want you guys to know too, because the young people looking for this. I do identify as an indigo child.
Okay.
I do identify as an indigo child. Everything I've done, even my attractiveness to the party, the Black Panther Party, the principle of the party, falls in line with my assignment here on this planet as an indigo.
Okay. All right.
Yes. And with that,
wait a minute, brother.
Both.
One moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At least say, greet you. Ingia haba. Sa halaki haba. Njo haba sa sahibi. Mambia huyu jamaa salamia. Shikamo. Now you can't.
My babies.
So my kids come in every evening and hang out with me, and I've got them all here now. So having said that, I'll thank you all again for the honor of allowing me to participate.
Oh, man, that was a treat.
I appreciate every one of you. I love you.
Bye, babies.
Hey, Jamani, I'm going to say my bye-bye.
Bye. I miss you, MJ. I miss the Watoto.
All right.
I love you. I love
everyone.
You are
out of here.
It was beautiful. I give thanks for the opportunity. But I think our freedom fighters just passed away. So we want to pour libations for him also. He came here. See, Julie Kamunakumbuka, it was, I don't remember when, but his name was Brother Eddie Conway. We say his name. Yes, he was here with his wife, Sister Dominique. So he passed away, Juicy, yeah. So we want to remember him. We want to remember my father, Sterling Emmanuel Hill, my mother, Teresa Calzetti, Garrett Hill, Brother Eddie Conway, all our freedom fighters. And speak the names. Yes.
Marco Foley.
Yes. And one of the ways that came to me in a dream, because my mother, and it said in that dream that I should get marks to remember her and all my ancestors. And Wakati Nime Pata Hapa, it was Kumbu Kumbu for my father. And Mimi Nimeenda Umkono, Halafu Wakati Ninaenda Uko Wamechanja Hapa. Na hii ni sio kwa kabila, hii ni kwa sababu ninakumbuka wazazi, our freedom fighters. Yes, the memory. Na pia kwa sababu I'm a child of Africa. And this is the way we do in many places. Our ancestors shed tears and blood for us. I am called to do the same thing for them, for Kumbu Kumbu. Hii ni kitu kubwa, ni muhimu. Yes. And while we drum, I would love for the mamas to put these leaves in my hair. Now, tunafanya hii kwa sababu hii inatoka miti ya guava. That's a fruit tree. And we as mothers, whether we have children or not, we carry the fruit in our womb and in our heart. And this is what these leaves signify.
They say shoot for the stars, but we're still shooting for living wage. Nowadays, credit cards and debt are just another cage. They say it's okay, just stay positive and pray. But I think to myself, well, will that really cause change? I think to myself, where's the riots, where's the rage? But will rage really cause the corrupt to turn a page? I'd rather set the book ablaze than watch another racist child get raised. They say you can't judge the past, that was just a phase. It's just another way to try to make slavery a race. This country was built on crime, but they say it doesn't pay. They hide history in a maze behind a suit and tie, smiling